Today, we're diving into the life of one of America's most, well, let's say overlooked presidents, Millard Fillmore, the 13th President of the United States. You might think his story is a bit of a historical footnote, but trust me, there are some fascinating and, frankly, bizarre details you won't want to miss. So, who was this guy? Millard Fillmore was born into poverty in a log cabin in upstate New York in 1800. His family was so poor they couldn't even afford books. In a classic rags to riches tale, a young Millard taught himself to read, reportedly using a stolen dictionary. He'd study it page by page, which is some serious dedication. He eventually became a lawyer and worked his way up the political ladder. Fillmore wasn't elected president in his own right. He was the vice president for Zachary Taylor. In a strange twist of fate, President Taylor died suddenly after just 16 months in office, possibly from a stomach illness after eating cherries and iced milk on a hot day. Just like that, Millard Fillmore, a man who never expected to be president, was thrust into the Oval Office. Talk about an unexpected promotion. Now for one of the most famous, and perhaps slightly mythical, stories about Fillmore. It's often said that he installed the White House's very first bathtub. The story goes that he saw a similar invention at an exhibition and just had to have one. Well, this makes for a great fun fact. Modern historians have largely debunked it. But it's a piece of presidential folklore that has stuck around for a reason. It paints a picture of a man bringing a touch of modern convenience to the highest office in the land. What he did bring to the White House was its first library. Remember that boy who had no books? As president, he and his wife, Abigail, who was a former school teacher, established the first permanent library in the executive mansion. They believed in the power of education and literature, and they made sure future presidents would have a wealth of knowledge right at their fingertips. That's a legacy you can't argue with. But Fillmore's presidency wasn't all books and bathtubs. He presided over a deeply divided nation. His most significant and controversial act was signing the Compromise of 1850. This was a package of bills meant to calm the bubbling tensions over the institution of slavery between the North and the South. While it did delay the Civil War for about a decade, it included the Fugitive Slave Act, which was incredibly harsh and deeply unpopular in the North. This decision ultimately destroyed his political career. His own party, the Whigs, refused to re-nominate him for a second term after his presidency. Fillmore's story takes another interesting turn. He ran for president again in 1856, but not as a Whig or a Republican. He ran as the candidate for the Know Nothing Party, a secretive, anti-immigrant, and anti-Catholic political party. It's a strange final act for a former president, and unsurprisingly, he lost spectacularly, carrying only the state of Maryland. So, from a bookless boy in a log cabin to the man who signed one of the most controversial laws in American history, Millard Fillmore's life was anything but boring. He's often ranked near the bottom of presidential lists, but his story is a compelling look at a man caught in the crosscurrents of a nation heading towards its greatest crisis. What do you think? Is Millard Fillmore an underrated president, or does he deserve his forgotten status? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a lesser-known corner of history, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more presidential stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.